So the last real thing that I wanted to bring up here before we call this an evening, what's the scariest thing? Video game, creepypasta, psychological thriller movie, murder mystery movie, Jaws effect in monster movies, gore porn, slasher flicks, violent shrieks, any of these kind of things. What is the scariest that you've ever come across? I can think of two things that scared me as a kid. They wouldn't scare me now, obviously, but they've been the only times that I've actually been like scared. Um, Actually, no, I can think of three. Uh, Supposedly, I was afraid of arachnophobia as a kid. I don't know why. I didn't have like a fear of spiders or anything like that, but something must have freaked me out. Um, and again, when you're too young to remember this stuff, people just tell you the stories, so I don't remember this specifically, but supposedly we went to go see Ernest Scared Stupid in theaters, and it freaked me the fuck out. We had to leave. And it wasn't just me, it was
Aw.
my sister too, who's 4 years older than me. So something must have been freaky about those trolls. But I've seen that since I had seen it in the theaters, and I don't understand what would have freaked me out. Um, there was one commercial that freaked me out a lot as a kid, and I want to say it was for like Law and Order or something. It wasn't like a horror thing because they didn't really have like horror TV shows back then. But there was some commercial that they were running for some show, and it was like the season finale or the season premiere or something like that. So they ran it for like weeks on end, and it was just this one person, this one woman, just going, "There's something at the door. There's something at the door. There's something at the door," and it was over and over again. It was kind of like that whole "Is it safe?" kind of a thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Supposedly freaked me out so fucking much that if I would see that commercial come on, I would just like bolt out of the room or whatever. Um, Again, I don't remember what those things were from, but those are the only things that really can remind me of something that had legitimately scared me. Because over the years, I've seen horror movies, I've seen horror TV shows, I've watched Kazam, and as freaky as that movie is, it's not a horror film. Uh, None of that kind of stuff scares me. It's just the couple of things here and there, like the Clockwork Oranges and stuff, that are disturbing, but none of them are scary. But what would you guys say? What are some of the scariest things, legitimately, that like you couldn't go to sleep that night, or you were walking home from the movie theater and you walked a lot faster, or you kept the lights on, or any of those kind of things from many of these things, games or creepypasta or whatever it might be. Sam, is there any that stand out to you? Anything that comes to your mind about something that legitimately scared you, like it should have been?
One is a movie, and one is just a quote. But it was a quote that was actually used in a semi-current movie, and it actually kind of drew me in a little bit. The movie should not have scared me, but as a kid, I was absolutely terrified of E.T.
I know a lot of people actually that
Aw.
are freaked out by AT.
I had nightmares till I was about 16
It's
years
the
old.
eyes. He has big eyes.
It was the eyes, the way he moved, the noises he made. It was everything. And I was so utterly terrified to the point where I wouldn't want to go to bed. And there was one time I remember waking up in the middle of the night. It was about 4 in the morning, and there was a pile of clothes by my bedroom door. And I guess just in my half asleep, kind of just staring at it, and I have bad eyes anyway. It looked kind of like E.T. when he was wearing like those girly clothes, like the wig and the hat and stuff. And it terrified me to the point where I did not take my eyes off of it from 4 in the morning till 7 o'clock when I had to get up for school. It was that horrifying to me that for about 3 straight hours I watched this pile of clothes to make sure it didn't move, look at me, something like that.
You didn't want to eat those Reese's Pieces?
Oh God. I actually, ironically enough, I have a small box of Reese's Pieces right next to me.
Watch out. Yeah, pass some of them my way. I'm really hungry.
I'm kind of hungry too. Fuck you. I'm gonna get some right now.
What about you, Carolina? What's something that legitimately scared you?
I mean, aside from watermelons, let me think.
We got to get behind that at some
Um,
point and figure out what it is.
I don't know. Listen, my mom has tried. My therapist has tried. I don't know. I just don't want to deal with it. It's there. I just have to deal with it. I don't know. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. Anyways, two things I think scared me when I was young. One, it was a short story, and that when you guys were talking, I was trying to remember it, but it was in Portuguese, and it was about this guy that was buried alive. And that to me was very scary because as a child I was always really sick. So I was so scared that one day I was going to like wake up, but not really wake up, and people will say, "Oh, she's dead," and bury me, while I was like, "No, I can hear you and I can see you," kind of thing. So that was really scary to me. And the other thing, and it was just weird. I remember when I watched the movie Phantoms. I don't remember how old I was, but the whole movie did not scare me. But there was this one scene in the movie where Ben Affleck, I think, he's the cop in the movie. He's really young, and he opens. He's in this industrial kitchen, and he is hearing something dripping, and it's not the faucet. It's nothing. He keeps looking for it, and then he hears and sees the oven like going bang, like something's done in it. So he, after hesitating for a long time and the dripping noises becoming louder and louder, he opens the oven door and there's a head in there and it's dripping blood. And I remember for some reason that head in the oven to me was like, what? Like, that is so creepy. I guess in my mind, I thought it was a real head. And that was possible. Like, oh my God, that's what people do. But I mean, I think that was it. Like, those are the two things that stuck with me as a child. So it's a short story about being buried alive and a head inside the oven and watermelons.
I got two more for you. One that we haven't brought up is that fucking scene at the end of Ghost, where those shadow people pop up and like drag you to hell. For a movie that is not a horror movie, how just utterly terrifying was that?
I think the scarier thing in that is Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg, yeah.
Sorry, girl.
But the quote that I was talking about earlier is actually, did you guys see Dark Skies?
Yes.
Which one's Dark Skies?
It came out a few years ago. It was about aliens.
I think I did. That sounds familiar.
Weird things are happening at this house. Like, cans are piled in ways that look like kind of like crop circles in a way, and birds like die hitting the house, and the parents are trying to protect one of their children because they think the aliens are coming for that kid.
Yeah.
He keeps calling. He says Sandman all the time.
Yeah, the quote in the beginning of that movie, I've heard it before that movie, and if you really take to heart the quote, it is the most terrifying thing I have ever heard. It's from Arthur C. Clarke, and he says, 2 possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe, or we are not. Both are equally terrifying.
Yes.
If you really think about it.
Yeah, you have to think about it to get terrified, but if you do, I mean, either way, there's either deafening silence or what the fuck is out there?
Yeah.
Like, there's no, addendum to that says, but if we aren't alone in the universe, it's just like, gumdrops and Lollipop Land and whatever, and the only things that are out there are the Muppets. Like,
Right.
That's a good thing to bring up, though. Arthur C. Clarke, known for all of his sci-fi stuff, but he put Inside out there, and he can really, kind of like that whole HAL 9000 thing. Sometimes the creepiest thing is something that's not even alive to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be thinking about that later.
You're not going to bed tonight.
I'll be laying down in bed and I'll just be like, well, if there are aliens, and then 18 hours later I'll be like, fuck, I need to go to sleep. So one final thing that we need to do here is we need to go around and we need to plug some stuff that's going on. So Sam, anything that you want to toss out to the listeners that you should be checking out sometime soon, or social accounts to follow or anything?
Just catch me on Fanboys Anonymous. I'll be writing some articles every now and then. My most recent one is on the Robert Downey Jr. Captain America 3 story. And I'm going to be writing up a new one pretty soon about the possibilities and ramifications of a Marvel Civil War.
Oh, man, I hope that they don't fuck that up.
Yeah. For a second, I thought you said, I hope they fuck it up. And
no. Yeah, oh, man, I hope that the movie's terrible. It'd be great. Caroline, anything that you want to plug?
I'm thinking here, I am currently writing a piece on clowns and why we're afraid of clowns and why are they becoming the new best villain in a lot of movies and TV shows. That's going to be up soon, so check it out. And hopefully other articles as well, but I still have to come up with other topics that involve murder and creepy stuff.
That involve watermelon.
No, I'm never gonna write about that thing.
That's all I'm gonna write about.
Give me nightmares. I'm gonna be very
one of these days I'm gonna change the
right
Anthony Mango name to
Anthony
different
Watermelon.
food. I'll do that and I'll just message you all day.
I'm like vomiting a little bit in my mouth right now. Can we stop talking about that stupid fruit? I don't even like saying the name. It's just disgusting. Shouldn't exist.
I'm so curious to hear the comments that are left on these videos.
Yeah.
So that'll do us in for this episode, everybody. Make sure that you check out everything that's going on with fanboysanonymous.com for not only the next couple of weeks that we've got going on where we're trying to tie things in to the Halloween spirit and whatever. Maybe we'll try to get some pictures of you could kind of call it cosplaying when you dress up for Halloween. Maybe we could get some of that going on. I will not be doing a horror thing for Halloween. I'm going as Ted Mosby, the Hanging Chad. So that's not going to be bloody at all. But I know a lot of people are going to be doing a lot of that kind of stuff. So if we have any people that do that, we might be posting something about that on the website. If not, we're still going to be tying other things into Halloween. Like I said before, we're going to do that for Real Movie Club about the 4 major horror franchises. We've actually got a contest going on right now for fans of The Walking Dead. You can win a free Walking Dead Zombie Horde t-shirt. All you have to do is follow, subscribe our 3 main social accounts, Facebook, Twitter, and the YouTube channel, and retweet the thing that I had mentioned before on our Twitter account. You'll be able to see that. Or share the image on our Facebook fan page, or share the link to the post in some kind of fashion, and you will be entered one for each of those that you do. Everything else that we have got going on this month, we haven't quite planned out yet, so there might be some review points, there might be a fan tracks maybe. Check out the Daceman show each and every week. He's got a bunch of guests lined up. And we've got so many different things that I lose track of it eventually. So the only thing that you can do to make sure that you don't miss out is to follow all those accounts and go to fanboysanonymous.com. So I'm putting you guys to work to do the job for me to tell you what to do. So if you are interested in joining the team as well, go to fanboysanonymous.com. We're always looking for more people in different capacities. And I think that that's pretty much all that I have to plug, because you guys should see all those A Mango Tree links all over the place, so I don't need to throw them out there. But on behalf of Sam Lassio and Caroline Oliveira and everybody else who could not join this panel tonight, all those fanboys and fangirls out there, I'm Tony Mango. No matter what, whether it's a horror film that I'm not a huge fan of, or it's something that's making me stay up at night, I am a fanboy nonetheless. This meeting is adjourned. See you next time, everybody.